What if our world is a magnificent tower and its spire is hidden from view in the highest layers of existence? What if that tower is long gone and we wander only through its ruins? Suddenly we see the light. It becomes brighter and brighter until it fiercely pierces the dark depth of the collapsed building. Perhaps this is the rebirth of life. Perhaps this is what hope that has been realized looks like. This installation by Yunus Safardiar is called Last Hope, and it's a piece from his already acclaimed Second Ascent series.
The Second Ascent series is about the problems that we face nowadays. It's about the struggles of the world we live in. Many artists address them in their works, directors incorporate them in their movies, and they're mentioned in songs. I also try to talk about the problems of our time through my art. Humankind has been developing and evolving, and during that entire time there hasn't been a moment when there were no problems. And we have managed to solve them in one way or another. Artists have always been doing this 100 or 1000 years ago. That is what I do too. As all artists, I continue the tradition.
Yunus Safardiar is a sculptor. However, he often calls himself an artist because he believes that art has long since blurred its boundaries. It has reached a new level where distinctions and categories are no longer meaningful. Everybody among us is an artist.
Anything can be called art. For example, if you put a glass on a pedestal and call it art, it will actually be modern art. There is no such thing as the role of sculpture. All roles have already expanded and lost their meaning to such an extent that there are no more roles. They have reached a whole new level that is considered through perception, deeper understanding of life and form. Art and the way we perceive it depends on how we approach it and how the artist presents it.
The forms that Yunus creates are always large-scale in meaning and almost always impressive in size. The pieces at the Astana exhibition were relatively modest in physical parameters, the heaviest weighing only about 350 kilograms.
Some of the pieces in this exhibition were made in advance. A portion of the display was transported from Novosibirsk, where a sizable exhibition was held at the National Museum. And finally, some installations were created right here. We spent about a week on all this.
I'm very glad that National Museum is starting to hold such exhibitions, because these works are exceptional. The sculptor possesses a remarkable degree of competence, complete technique mastery, and perfect adherence to all compositional laws. There is not a single thing to criticize, but most of all, I am impressed by the fact that his art is beautiful. As an artist, I place a high value on aesthetics, and this sculptor conveys beautiful kindness to his audience. Sculpture is quite a complex form of art. Conveying this beautiful kindness to the public is not an easy task, and I think it deserves the highest praise. I am impressed by the fact that this project is taking place at the National Museum, because this art really is on a national level. Moreover, we can witness how the artist has changed over quite a long period of time. The exhibition includes his early works as well as the contemporary pieces that he's creating now. It's impressive that there are so many facets, and like I said, the aesthetic appeal is unmatched. Life is a constant transformation. It goes through a series of events, declines and surges, black and white moments. While the true meaning of existence is to move forward, to ascend. In Yunus's worldview, humanity is experiencing its second ascent right now, which means that we're all part of it. Initially, this thought is unsettling, since we may recognize certain apocalyptic imagery in the artist's concept. But Yunus reassures us that his works are about progress, our creativity, and high aspirations. The Second Ascent exhibition is undoubtedly conceptual and unique. Art is expressed in variety of forms, through sculptures, installations, and videos.
Скульптура, конечно, является таким базовым, очень важным.
Sculpture is such a fundamental and important form of contemporary art. It is changing just as other art forms, like painting and graphics. Sculpture is becoming multimedia. That is, it's already mixing different materials and incorporating different genres. By the way, this exhibition is a clear example of sculpture being multimedia. We saw mixing textures, patterns, and meanings, and even witnessed sculpture mixing with video art. We could say that it is accompanied by video art. Sculpture is alive and dynamic. It continues to develop and remains an important form of art.
Остается таким важным направлением.
У меня очень много работ, кинетические, да,
I have a lot of kinetic sculptures that move. I have a team of designers and engineers who help me create all sorts of things, come up with some unique designs that can move.
Я им говорю, ребята, давайте, надо придумать что-нибудь такое.
We work together. They come up with new technologies to turn my ideas to reality. For example, we have recently invented an artwork for Samarkand, a 15-ton installation that hangs in the air and moves.
То есть компьютер управляет это все.
It's controlled by a special program on a computer. We try to utilize the technologies available today to create such extraordinary pieces.
Это вот эти технологии, которые сейчас есть, да?
Технологии очень важны, потому что мы живем в веке прогресса, как говорится.
Technology is very important because we live in the age of progress. It is widely used in a lot of different spheres such as science, medicine, and of course, it has found its way into art.
Было бы, как сказать,
It would be a shame not to use this opportunity to bring modern art to a whole new level. Technology allows you to achieve certain goals that might have been considered unattainable before. Artworks can achieve a considerable degree of excellence with the help of other people, such as a team of computer engineers. Unlike Michelangelo in the Renaissance, an artist does not have to work alone on everything these days. Artists may now concentrate more on the idea, as the process of making it a reality is getting simpler.
Воплощение уже становится более легкой задачей.
It seems that the art of the future is already being created. This form of art utilizes technological advancements, with the creators and the technology acting as tools of expression, while ideas, thoughts, and visions remain unique and creative. What would we do without talent, creative ideas, and inspiration?
Знаете, вот у меня нету рецепта такого, что вот...
You know, I don't have a formula for coming up with ideas and finding inspiration. Some things inspire me, others don't.
Какой-то силуэт, и сразу вот что-то приходит. Иногда вот...
Sometimes all I have to do is look at a silhouette, and an idea comes to me right away.
Ну там, 5 на 5, да, как бы. Белые стены, вообще ничего нет, один стол. То есть иногда я...
In my home, there's a room that is off limits to everyone. It's quite small and basic, with nothing but a table and white walls. I can spend 3 days in there and nothing comes to mind. However, there are times when I go out and spot a cat dashing past, and ideas start popping in my mind. It's such a mystery. Something unexpected may occur in the span of a few seconds. I occasionally even have ideas in my dreams.
Иногда во сне вижу, иногда вообще нет, да.
The White Room of the sculptor's creative torment is in England. Officially, Yunus Safardiar is an Uzbek with a London residency, but in fact, Yunus is more of a global citizen with an Uzbek soul. He has lived in many countries on every continent. During his childhood and youth, the most formative years of his development as an artist, he was able to take in equal measure of completely different cultures, such as vibrant Samarkand, captivating in its uniqueness, St. Petersburg, austere in its artistic expressions, and the Western culture, so alluring to a Soviet guy.
Рос в Самарканде.
I grew up in Samarkand, where there are a lot of mosques. Of course, it's all in my DNA. And then I went to Russia and immersed myself in Russian culture and literature.
А потом я уехал в Россию, вникся как бы в русскую культуру, в русскую литературу.
When I was about 20 years old, I then traveled to Western Europe, and it was there that I developed as an artist, with my genetic and cultural foundation. It naturally leaves a trace and affects my art.
Бесцельно не уходит. Это влияет на то, что я делаю. Я пытаюсь честно, без всякого притворства делать.
I try to work and do what I like without any pretense. As many people have claimed, my art turns out to have some oriental flair. Of course it does. I come from the East. I think my background had very beneficial effect on me.
Благотворно повлияло мое творчество. Я так считаю.
The artist's candor strikes a chord with viewers. World-famous and highly sought-after sculptor Yunus Safardiar is quite busy. He has an endless series of exhibitions, commercial ventures, and projects for the soul. Moreover, given that Yunus works with large forms, it takes a huge amount of preparation to realize his ideas. It always entails large-scale processes. Hence, the workshops are spread across several floors. The pieces involve expensive materials and sometimes invention of new technological possibilities. Working in a team charged with success is essential.
У меня есть дар убеждать.
I have a talent for persuasion. If an idea ever comes, I can convince people, infect them with my idea. They gather around me, begin acting on it, discussing.
То есть я вот работаю, какой материал в данный момент вот меня располагает.
I am omnivorous in terms of work. Whatever material I have at the moment, it might even be water or alcohol. I can use it. Once I even made a sculpture from food. In 1996, I worked on a big project in London. It was a performance. I created about 12 enormous sculptures, and each one was made of food. 40 chefs were cooking for me, 4,000 people were in attendance, and all of the food was eaten during the exhibition. So as you can see, I can work with anything.
Во время выставки. То есть и такую выставку я тоже делал. Работа для меня.
I consider the piece finished when I am tired of it. I have to stop before it becomes any worse. When there is no point in working on it further, then I consider it finished. Otherwise, I could keep working on it forever.
Так можно его до бесконечности делать.
Yunus says that the best reward for all the hard work is the fascinated and admiring gazes of the public. It's not an end in itself, but it's important.
Я считаю, что если Господь мне дал какую-то идею,
I believe that if God gave me an idea, it came to me with a purpose, either for harmony, balance, or justice. God must have created a person who will appreciate it, and the only problem is that my art and that person must find each other to fulfill this purpose.
то есть это обязательно есть. Это есть обязательно. То есть единственная проблема, они друг друга должны найти.
Sometimes it's challenging, since they might be in different countries, even on different continents. This is where gallerists come into play.
континентах, да? Задача вот людей, которые галереи, вот это вот найти.
The task of gallerists is to find those admirers of my works, the ones whom God has already created. I consider it a success when this synergy happens, when harmony, balance, and justice are achieved. For me, that's what success is.
Равновесие, справедливость, понимаете? Вот я считаю, вот это и есть успех.
This is the sculptor's first exhibition in our country. Yunus was very warmly welcomed in Kazakhstan, and he himself has taken to it. He might even consider creating a sculpture dedicated to Kazakhstan.
Знаете, я просто...
What I saw here simply astounded me. I've heard great things about Kazakhstan and Astana, of course. I've surely seen some pictures, but hearing about something is one thing. Really seeing it in person is quite another. Just the size of Kazakhstan amazed me. Considering the scope of things, I had the impression that Kazakhs may have such expansive minds. That really got to me. I was also struck by the fact that people here are so intelligent and beautiful, especially young people. Kazakhs are very beautiful people in general. I like Kazakhstan, and I hope that we will do something interesting here. This exhibition is a great starting point. Thank you.
Это пробный шар, я считаю, да?